Hello friends, welcome to the channel Physics by IITians.
Hello friends, in this lecture we will study about canonical ensemble, and this is a very important lecture for you to understand how to solve statistical mechanics problem. So first we need to understand why do we study canonical ensemble. In reality the systems are interacting with each other or interacting with the surroundings. So the microcanonical ensemble, which we assume the system is an isolated system, that is really not practical system. So if we want to consider thermodynamic system that is real or that are physical in the world, then we have to study canonical ensemble, grand canonical ensemble. Now what are the examples like for the canonical ensemble? Suppose the particles cannot penetrate the wall of the enclosure, but energy can be exchanged through the walls. So what will you find? How do you find out the macroscopic states, the microscopic states of the system, the statistical mechanics of the system, where the statistics and mechanics will tell you and give you the information about the system. So in this video we will discuss the canonical ensemble, and we will find out some problems, and we will find out the partition function, the distribution function. We'll find out how to calculate partition function, how to get average of some quantity. Okay, so before starting the video we have an announcement that you can join our test series and you can give free test in this registration link that is given in the description box, and you can join our test series. The test cost has been kept minimum for your benefit. So let's start the video. We have already told you that what is the canonical ensemble example. Suppose there is a system, and system is EV is kept in a large heat bath. Okay, this system is small compared to the surrounding system, that is the heat bath. So the surrounding is the heat bath or heat reservoir. Now this is larger than our system of interest, that is EV. So it is assumed to be so large that any exchange of energy with our system of interest will not have any noticeable effect on it. So this system that is so small that the heat bath is not affected by the system at all. Suppose we are considering, suppose just for physical understanding, we are taking 10 to the power 8 particle system. Okay, and now the heat bath consists of, not heat bath, the suppose another system which is consisting of 10 to the power 28 particles. Now, or you can assume it smaller than 10 to the power 8 or 10 to the power 4. Suppose we are taking this 10 to the power 4 particle cannot affect 10 to the power 28 particles so much effectively that we can ignore the interaction of the smaller system to compare to the larger system. But this larger system can actually affect the smaller system. So we will understand what is the difference between the canonical ensemble and microcanonical ensemble. Is there the microcanonical ensemble, the system was not affected by the surrounding system. There are two, if there are also an impenetrable walls, that is, suppose ideal impenetrable penetrable walls, first of all they were separated, then we somehow the separation is from some portion is emitted, from some portion is cleared, and the particles can interact with each other, but they are not interacting, and the overall system having fixed energy, fixed volume. Okay, but here the heat bath can surely influence the system that we want to discuss or want to study. That's why the system here, the parameters are somehow different and the ensemble name is different, that is canonical ensemble. So E is the energy of our system of interest, EB is the energy of the heat bath, and their sum is ET, that is ET equals to EB plus E, and E and EB are supposed to be variable, but ET, that is total energy, it is fixed. And whenever the total energy is fixed, so all this system is not isolated system, but we can say this system is a closed system. So to understand why do you study canonical ensemble. I think you understand it. If next time anyone question you, ask you why do we need canonical ensemble, you have to answer this way. Now, what will be the total number of microstates of the combined system? So the combined system, the total number of microstates can be written as omega equals to integration over omega SE, omega VE, EV, DE. Why this integral? This integral because what we need is a sum over possibilities of various amount of energy exchanges between the system and the heat bath. Okay, so the system having the energy level as E and heat bath having the energy level as EV. So we are specifying the system having microstates, number of microstates as omega S, and heat bath having number of microstates are as omega B, and all possible amounts of energy exchanges are possible. That's why we are taking the total number of microstates as the integration over all the possibilities or all the microstates. Now, the number of microstates corresponding to the system having energy E. What will be that? That will be omega E equals to omega SE into omega B EV, or we can write EV as ET minus E, where ET is the total energy, that is equals to EB plus E. Okay. So let us take an example. Suppose we are taking two systems and they have 3 microstates each. So the combined system will have a 3 into 3, that is total 9 number of microstates. Okay. So entropy, now we have to understand the how this omega will play role in the thermodynamics, and we have to incorporate the entropy of the system, that is S equals to K ln omega. So use the Boltzmann definition of entropy, that is S equals to K ln omega. Write omega V into, that is a function of Et minus E, in terms of the entropy of the heat bath, that is omega E can be written as omega SE into e to the power log of omega V Et minus E, or it can be written as omega SE e to the power 1 by K SB Et minus E. So omega E is the microstates that correspond to the energy E, and you are writing it in terms of the total energy of the combined system, that is ET, and the entropy of the system. So SB is the entropy of the heat bath. Now look here, understand the equation that omega of E, omega that is E within the energy E, that is within that smaller system which we want to study, it is affected by the entropy of the heat bath, or it is affected by the energy of the heat bath, or it is affected by the temperature of the heat bath. And this is taking the consideration of the interaction between the system and the heat bath. Okay. So the number of microstates of the combined system correspond to the system having energy E can be written as omega E equals to omega SE exponential 1 by K SB, a function of ET, minus E by KT, or it can be written as omega SE e to the power SB by K e to the power minus E by KT. So this term is the constant term, as ET is constant. Now the total number of microstates of the combined system you can write as omega equals to integration over omega S, that is a function of E into e to the power or exponential SB by KT into e to the power minus E by KT into DE. Now, what will be the probability of the system having energy E? The probability of the system having energy E, that is the number of microstates that are within the energy E divided by the total number of microstates for the combined system. So, it is omega as a function of E into e to the power SB by KT, SB by K into e to the power minus E by KT divided by integration of omega SE e to the power SB by K e to the power minus E by KT into DE, or it can be written as omega S function of E e to the power minus E by KT divided by integration over omega s function of e to the power minus e by kt into dE. Since the quantity is constant, so we just cancel it out. What we are finding here, we are finding this quantity Pe as omega s, that is function of e into e to the power minus e by kt divided by z, where we are defining z as integration over omega s, that is function of e into e to the power minus e by kt dE, which z is known as or is termed as canonical partition function. And since it is defining you the all over all the energy levels, so what does it represent? It represents the how the particles are partitions among the various energy states of the system. So if this system is a continuous system, that's why you are taking integration. If the systems are discrete, the system with discrete energies, we can write that probability for a particular state having energy ER is proportional to exponential minus beta ER, or PR can be written as PR equals to exponential minus beta ER divided by sum over R exponential minus beta ER. So this integration, excuse me, this integration is replaced by the summation for the discrete energies. So this, what is the canonical partition function? This is actually kind of the normalization, because the probability of having energy E must be finite, and finite means either it can be 1 or it can be 0. Probability is not that that can be sum of the combination of the states. So here the we are kind of normalizing the probability, and we are defining this partition function, and the physical meaning of the partition function is the how these particles are partitioned among the various energy states of the system. Now, what is the importance of the partition function? The probability of the system having energy E can now be written as Pe equals to, for the continuous system in space, we can write it as 1 by delta integration over E dp dq e to the power minus E by kt, where E is a function of P as well as Q. In the earlier lecture, we have discussed in details. And the normalization factor here will be 1 by delta integration over dp dq e to the power minus E divided by kt. Now look, these two are not the same, because this is over a constant energy surface within a fixed energy E, and the new denominator term is the integration over all space. So this is the definition of a probability, that the favorable events divided by the all events. So, and delta is the phase volume corresponding to 1 microstate. And for this case, it is 1 by h to the power 3n. Now, the normalized density function, which will describe or capture the dynamics of the system within a phase space, that can be written as rho, that is a function of P and Q. It is not a function of T, because we are considering this with a thermodynamic equilibrium condition. That is, there is del rho divided by del T equals to 0. That means this is stationary states or equilibrium at thermodynamic equilibrium. So rho is a function of P and Q only, and it can be written as exponential minus E by kt divided by Z. Okay, and E is a function of P and Q. So Z can be written as 1 by delta integration over minus E P, a function of PQ divided by kt to dp dq. Earlier we have written Z in terms of the microstates of the system is integration over omega s e to the power minus E by kt dE. So here you are writing Z in terms of P and Q, that is phase space. So microstates and the phase space are already related to each other, because what does it mean by microstates? Microstates are the dynamics of the system, particular position, particular momentum configuration of the system that will tell you the of the particle, not the system. So here we are considering all the positions, all the momentums of instantaneous position, instantaneous momentum of the particle we are capturing, and the information is within this microstate of the system. So somehow you can relate the physical meaning of this microstates, phase space, energy levels, and look here, the partition function is the combination of the two systems. One is depending on the system of the smaller system which we want to study, and another is the system that is the larger system, that is the heat bath, because the temperature of the heat bath, that is T, which is directly affecting the number of states or number of microstates or number of energy states in the canonical ensemble. So the thermal average of any quantity A, it can be the energy, it can be the pressure, it can be volume. So what will be the thermal average of any quantity? The thermal average, that is A average, is 1 by delta integration over A rho dp dq, or it can be written in terms of partition function as 1 by delta 1 by z integration over A e to the power minus E by kt dp dq. Earlier we defined that the average of ensemble average of any function, any quantity, is integration over f rho d3nq d3np divided by integration over rho d3nq d3np. So this the normalization factor which is here as partition function. And normalization surely will, why do we do normalization function? Normalized anything, normalize to become, to make it normal or to make it physically acceptable. Okay. So now there is another thing you should understand, the distribution function. Okay. So this Boltzmann factor we can write, or Boltzmann or canonical distribution we can write for P, that is the probability of any state having energy epsilon n is 1 by z e to the power minus epsilon n by kBt, where z is the partition function that can be defined as sum over all the states. If the states are discrete, the exponential minus en by kBt. And if we plot this probability versus energy, we get exponentially decaying function. Okay, so the distribution like exponentially decaying function, if you if you plot probability, that is PEN versus energy EN, so this is an exponentially decaying function. So you can be at the examination, maybe you are asked the question that what will be the plot between probability and the energy in case of partition canonical ensemble. So another thing you must remember, the rho, that is the density of states, it is the rapidly increasing function, and the partition function is rapidly decreasing function because it is exponentially decaying function. So the both the effect, where this both effect will be maximum when at this moment, at this time here, this is the overall effect of these two different functions, and the canonical partition function and most probable configuration from this, considering the canonical partition function, here the z term is written as q term. You can plot this way. If you find out, if you plot the energy along the x-axis and probability of the energy along the y-axis. So what is the physical meaning of this graph? That is, you can ask a question that out of infinitely possible energy exchanges, like if the temperature is T and the energy of the system heat bath is suppose EB, and the temperature of the energy of the system, smaller system which you want to consider here, that is E, then there are a lot many, I mean energies are infinite. Similarly, many more energies can be possible. See, energies we are taking from minus infinity to plus infinity, we are integrating. So can it be possible that each the particle, the system have the all the kinds of possible energies? No, the system cannot have all the kinds of possible energies. The possible energies are only possible within this range. So this is the physical interpretation of this graph, that these are the possibility of the maximum energy occupying within this system of particles. Okay. Now, what will be the average energy in canonical ensemble? Now, why do we find out the average energy? Average energy basically the energy per unit per number of particles. So it is basically telling you the thermodynamic quantity U, or the internal energy of the system. So if you want to find out the internal energy of the system, you have to find out the average energy. So the formula for the average energy is 1 by delta 1 by Z integration over E into e to the power minus E by kT dP into dq. And so after calculating, you get that E average equals to minus del beta of ln Z. Thus, the expression for the average energy of the system is very simply related to the partition function. So, why the partition function it is related to the average energy? Because partition function is giving you the sum of the all energies. So, sum of the all energy should be related to the average energy or the internal energy of the system. Okay. Now, there will be some energy fluctuations, and we need to understand why there are some energy fluctuations, or why there are the dispersion value in the energy, because energy of a system is not constant in canonical ensemble. It is rapidly exchanging with the heat bath because the system is not isolated. Now, how much the energy deviates from its average value? Because we have already find out this is our average value, that is this much. Now, this average value, how much will be the fluctuation in the energy value? So, a good measure of it is the energy fluctuation. Okay, and this is defined as delta E, that is equals to root of E minus E average whole square average, the average of this quantity. The angular bracket denote the thermal average of the or the ensemble average. Okay. So the square of energy fluctuation can be written for the canonical ensemble as delta E square equals to E square average minus E average square. It can be written as del 2 del beta 2 log Z. So energy fluctuation also depends quite simply on the partition function. So from the partition function, we can calculate the average energy or internal energy of the system, the fluctuation of the energy in the system. Okay. So now also we will calculate the specific heat of the system, and we see that delta E square can be written as delta del 2 del beta 2 L log Z, or it can be written as 1 by K beta square del T of E average. So del E average by del T is the specific heat of the system, that is del U by del T at constant V. So this can be written as del E square equals to KT square into CV. So energy fluctuations are intimately related to the specific heat of the system. So everything is related to each other. Now what will be the relation between the canonical and microcanonical ensemble? So we know that the average energy of a gas is proportional to the number of particles. So E average is proportional to N. So should be the specific heat, that is because specific heat is del T of the average energy. So CV is also proportional to N. So energy fluctuation should be proportional to root N. So delta E should be proportional to root N. So magnitude of fluctuation can be correctly estimated by the quantity delta E divided by epsilon E average, that is delta E by E average is proportional to root CB by E average, or it can be written as root N by N, or it can be written as proportional to 1 by root N. So this is a very important factor, that is delta E divided by E average, that is the magnitude of fluctuation is proportional to 1 by root N. So the numbers are it is proportional it is inversely proportional to root of the number of particles. Okay. So if now the numbers are infinite, then how much will be the fluctuation? If the numbers are tending to infinite, then this fluctuation, that is delta E divided by E average, that is the average fluctuation, will be 0, or there will be no average fluctuation, or the system is not interacting at all. No fluctuation means the system is isolated. So in the thermodynamic equilibrium limit, that is n tends to infinite, this canonical and microcanonical ensemble should give similar results, or the canonical system becomes the microcanonical system. Okay. So what will be the entropy in canonical system? The entropy definition, from definition we can write entropy S of E can be written as K ln omega E. So 1 by omega be the probability of a microstate rho I. In the canonical ensemble, microstates with different energy occur with different probability. That's why the equation is an average over the all the microstates. That is, we don't use this one, but we use the average over all the states, where rho I is the denoting the probability of one single microstate. And the probability is the ith microstate, that is rho I can be written as e to the power minus beta epsilon I, beta ei divided by z. So rho is the density function, but here rho I is the probability of the ith microstate. So don't, don't confuse, don't be confused. Okay. So in terms of the classical phase space variables, the entropy can be written as minus k 1 by delta integration over rho log rho dp d rho. So here this is the another discrete for the discretization of the rho I microstates. We can find out this formula and we can apply this formula for the entropy. For the continuous variable, we will apply the concept of rho, that is the density function, and for the discrete variables, we will apply the concept of microstates or probability of microstate of that particular state. All the formulas are similar because this rho I here also there is Z, and we are taking all the correction for the microstates. So what will be the Helmholtz free energy? The Helmholtz free energy can be also written from the entropy of the system, and it can be written as rho, that is S, it can be written as minus K integration sum over rho I log I, or it can be written as beta K E average plus K log Z, where E average is the ensemble average of the energy of the particular state which we want to study. Now E average minus TS is minus KT log Z. Okay. So here from this, here we get that E average minus TS is equals to minus KT log Z. So F is minus KT log Z because this quantity is gives free energy, Helmholtz free energy, and it can be written as H and F, and this can be written as F equals to minus KT log Z. So this expression for the Helmholtz free energy is also dependent on the partition function, and this is the expression, that is Z, and this is the expression of for the Helmholtz free energy in canonical ensemble. Now we take an example to find out the gaseous system, the canonical ensemble of an ideal gas. Suppose we are taking the energy of the gas that is given by sum over I equals to 1 to n pxi square by twice m plus pyi square by twice m plus pzi square by twice m. We are taking individual particles configuration. So this sum over I goes over all n particles. And how can you write the partition function? The partition function can be written as z equals to integration 1 by h cross to the power 3n integration over e to the power minus beta e into dpx, dpy, dpz to dxi, dyz, dyi, dzi all over the particles, that is I from 1 to n. So it is after simplifying why we are taking this integration, because the particles are non-interacting, okay, and this n integral will also be identical, and this integral over all space will give the volume of the box enclosing in the system within the system, that is in dx into dy into dz will give you the volume of the system, since these are non-interacting particles. But if these are interacting particles, then that will be another case, and the momenta we are varying from minus infinite to plus infinite. So the z can be written as 1 by h cross to the power 3n sum over multiplication factor I equals to 1 to n v. This v has been come has come from the dx into dy into dz factor, and within this limit minus infinite to plus infinite, we are taking the different terms, one for the px term, another for the py term, another for the pz term. So after simplification, we get this is the Gaussian integral. So Gaussian integral properties we can apply, and we get the simplified expression for the z, that is 1 by h cross to the power 3n v to the power n into 2m pi divided by beta into whole to the power 3n by 2, where beta equals to 1 by kt. Now the average energy we can write E average as minus del del beta of ln z. So minus del del beta of n log 1 by h cross cube v 2m pi by beta whole to the power 3 by 2. So this above simplifies to give E average equals to 3 by 2 n kt. So this is giving the ideal gas equation. So our canonical ensemble formulation is absolutely right. Okay. So the entropy for this system will be S equals to beta into K E average plus K log Z, and we get it as 3 by 2 Nk plus Nk log V into 4 m pi E average divided by 3 NH cross square whole to the power 3 by 2, and this result is identical that we use obtained for the microcanonical ensemble. So now you have to remember this has been for the classical dynamics. We are taking this integration from minus infinite to plus infinite. For the partition function, if you want to find out discrete particles, we have to take the summation over the list number of energies are available and the number of energy levels, including the degeneracy of that particular energy level. Okay, and here one important factor that will arise due to this indistinguishability of the gas molecules, that is we have to multiply an additional factor of 1 by n factorial in the partition function, so that we shouldn't calculate the same configuration twice. And this will, if we don't include 1 by n factorial in the calculation of the partition function, then it will result the Gibbs paradox. Okay, so now we will do one exercise, and in the next video I will do some more exercises. So this exercise is a particle is confined to a one-dimensional harmonic oscillator potential, that is Vx equals to half k x square. Now evaluate the canonical partition function of the oscillator and find the average of displacement squared, that is x square average. So displacement is x. Okay, and average of displacement square means x square average. Now here V is given. So the energy of the harmonic oscillator is E equals to kinetic energy plus potential energy. Kinetic energy is P square by twice m. Potential energy is half k x square. So the partition function, since it is the one-dimensional harmonic oscillator, there is no kind of quantum harmonic oscillator it is written, we can apply the classical formulas. We can take the energies from minus infinity to plus infinity. So Z can be written as integration over minus infinite to plus infinite dx into integration over minus infinite to plus infinite dp e to the power minus beta e. So here we can write it as integration over minus infinite to plus infinity e to the power minus beta into half k x square dx into integration minus infinite to plus infinite e to the power minus beta p square by twice m into dp. So it will give you, after simplification, the answer is 2 pi by beta root over m by k. Now what will be the average of displacement, that is x square average? It will give you that integration over minus infinite to plus infinite, double integration 1 over the a dx, another over the dp, and x square into e to the power minus beta e by z, and it will give you 1 by beta k. After simplification, you get this value. So in the next video, we shall solve some more problems. We learn grand canonical ensemble. We will do more problems regarding grand canonical ensemble. we will next learn quantum statistics. So don't forget to join our Telegram channel for daily quizzes. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you understand the statistical mechanics and physical interpretation of the formulas. You can evaluate your performance by joining our test series, and also you can give free test series in the following link, and that link has already been shared in the description box. Thank you.